In tracking the week, on Monday, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef Fagbemi San, challenged the National Judicial Council, NJC, to expedite action on the process of appointing more justices to fill vacancies on the bench of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. The court presently has only 10 justices against the full complement of 21 as provided by the Constitution. It was a gathering of who was who in the Nigerian judicial system as the Supreme Court celebrated its 2023-2024 legal year, as well as performed the swearing-in of 57 new senior advocates of Nigeria, SANS. In his speech at the twin event, the AGF and Minister of Justice emphasized the need for the NJC to expedite action of the appointment of new judges to fill the vacant seats. Although the AGF said he is aware that the process of filling the vacancies for justices of the Supreme Court had begun, he asked the NJC to act fast to lessen the burden of work on the 10 remaining justices. He disclosed that the administration of President Bola Tinubu has expressed readiness to implement judicial reforms with the cooperation of the judiciary. Also on Monday, the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, summoned heads of aviation regulatory agencies over safety concerns in the sector. The minister said a thorough assessment of recent incidents will be carried out during the meeting. Recently, the Lagos-Abuja flight of United Nigeria Airlines was diverted to Asaba, Delta State capital, due to poor weather conditions. The flight NUA 0504 took off on Sunday from the Muritala Mohammed International Airport Terminal 2 and was headed for Abuja. However, the pilots grounded the aircraft at Asaba International Airport, which caused some confusion among the passengers. On Tuesday, President Bola Tinubu informed the Senate of his intention to present the 2024 appropriation bill to a joint session of the National Assembly on Wednesday, November 29 by 11 a.m. Tinubu's letter was read by the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, during plenary on Tuesday. In the letter, the President craved the indulgence of the lawmakers to present the 2024 budget at a joint session of the Senate and House of Representatives. Following the development, Senate Clerk Chinedu Akubweze informed the senators that there will be restrictions of movement in the entrances of the National Assembly. He thereafter advised them to make use of the presidential villa gate to gain easy access into the Senate building. Also on Tuesday, the Senate threw out a bill seeking to amend the Electoral Act to allow political parties nominate or replace validly elected candidates in the event of death, resignation or vacancy of seats of 7 state or federal lawmakers. The bill, sponsored by the senator representing Kogi West, Sunday Karimi, suffered a major setback during the plenary as his colleagues did not allow it past second reading. In his lead debate, Karimi said the bill was necessary as it would put an end to unnecessary expenditures in rerun elections. According to him, various Supreme Court judgments had indicated that political parties have the sole right to produce candidates for elections, which is why party logos are printed on ballot papers during elections and not the candidates. However, opposing the bill, Senator Kawu Sumaila from Kano South said democracy in its purest form deals with the wishes of the generality of the people and not that of a political party as envisaged by the bill. In putting to rest any further discussion on the bill, Senate leader Senator Okpeyemi Bamidele lamented the inability of the sponsor to present copies of the lead debate to lawmakers to see. On Wednesday, the Supreme Court ordered that the 200 naira, 500 naira and 1,000 naira notes continue to coexist with the new ones until further notice. The Apex Court ruled that both old and new notes continue to remain legal tender until the federal government put a process in place for its replacement or redesign after due consultation with relevant stakeholders. Recall that mid-November, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, had said the old notes would remain legal tender indefinitely. The federal government subsequently urged the Supreme Court to grant an extension of time for the old notes to remain in circulation as legal tender. In the application by the Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, the federal government asked the Apex Court to lift its March 3 order that the old naira notes remain alongside the new ones till December 31, 2023. Following the Supreme Court's ruling, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has advised banks to adhere to the ruling. Still on Wednesday, the Inspector General of the Police, Kayode Egbetokun, said the Nigerian police force is not at war with the military and described the recent invasion in Adamawa State as an attack by terrorist groups. The IGP disclosed this at the police headquarters in Yola, where he assured officers and men of the force of doing everything possible to get justice in the recent attack. According to him, the police will continue to work professionally, hence the need to serve the people excellently to respond actively to the crimes and criminalities in the country. The Inspector General of Police also took time to pay a courtesy visit to the Adamawa State Governor and the Lamido of Adamawa to thank them for their intervention during the recent attack. On Thursday, President Bola Tinubu-led administration planned to spend 6.75 trillion naira of its projected 27.5 trillion naira budget on defense and security, education and infrastructure in 2024. This is as it earmarked 6.48 trillion naira for personnel and pension, an increase of 576.16 billion naira over the 2023 provision. The administration also eyed 10.4 trillion naira from tax, dividends, and others. The Minister of Budget and National Planning, Abubakar Bagudu, disclosed this during the presentation of the 2024 budget breakdown in Abuja. Earlier, while presenting the appropriation bill-themed Budget of Renewed Hope on the floor of the National Assembly on Wednesday, President Tinubu said the budget proposal was aimed at completing critical infrastructure projects that will help address structural problems in the economy while lowering the cost of doing business for companies and the cost of living for the average Nigerian. While presenting the budget, Bagudu stated that 50 billion naira of the amount would be for the student loan scheme of the federal government, while funding to the defense and security sector increased by 46.39% to 3.25 trillion naira from the 2.22 trillion naira that was earmarked in 2023 appropriation bill for the defense and police affairs ministries. Still on Thursday, the Senate strongly condemned all forms of violence against women and girls, emphasizing the need for more robust measures to safeguard their interests. This position was articulated during plenary, where the senators actively participated in the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence on women and the girl child. Adorning orange sashes as a symbol of solidarity for the advocacy, the lawmakers, including the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, were united in their commitment to address the critical issue. The advocacy motion was sponsored by 17 senators, spearheaded by Senator Ireti Kingibe, representing the FCT. Voicing their support to the motion, Senators Adams Oshiomhole, Natasha Akpoti, and Abdul Ningi, among others, acknowledged the virtues and sacrifices made by women globally, with a specific emphasis on those in Nigeria. Finally, on Friday, the upper legislative chamber concluded the debate on the budget's general principles, after which it resolved to suspend plenary for 2 weeks to enable its committee engage MDAs for budget defense. Deputy President of the Senate, Barau Jibrin, made the announcement at the end of the budget debate on Friday. This development followed the conclusion of the general principles of the budget, with each senator barring his mind on the content of the fiscal document before it's killed for second reading. Deputy Senate President thereafter referred the bill, which seeks to authorize the issue out of Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation the total sum of 27.50 trillion naira for the year ending on 31st December 2024 to the Committee on Appropriations. The Appropriation Committee will spread the budget across the standing committees of the Chamber for ministries, departments and agencies to appear before them and defend their 2023 budget performance and 2024 proposal. The meetings of several committees for budget defense are expected to commence on Monday. Lastly, on Friday, the federal government reiterated its commitment to sustaining the initiative to treat more HIV patients annually by using resources mobilized locally. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, SGF George Akume, disclosed this at the 2023 World AIDS Day with the theme Communities Leadership to End AIDS by 2030, held in Abuja on Friday. Akume, who was represented by his Chief of Staff Chris Daka, said government recognizes the valuable contributions of communities in the fight against HIV/AIDS, adding that it is within these communities that government found resilience, determination and the will to make a difference. While unveiling the key strategies for sustainability and country ownership of HIV, Daka stated that it indicates a pivotal commitment towards ending AIDS by 2030 and beyond, with states providing leadership. He then encouraged all states' government to key into the agenda for ownership for sustainable HIV response in Nigeria. And that is all in Tracking the Week.